Hello race fans and welcome to Phoenix International Raceway. We are live here on Sim Racing Media for the Icon Cup Series. Getting ready to do 180 laps of battle. I'm Liam Mervig, joined up in the booth by Alan Bergen. Alan, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Here we are at Phoenix. This reconfigured Phoenix, so now it's a couple years old. And right now it's going to be a blast to watch here as we saw in the real life race today. Some tire problems, but not here in the virtual world. This tire fall off will be at a premium, and I cannot wait until we see those guys cut that dog leg, if you will, because that's really going to upset these race cars, I feel like. But nonetheless, it's going to be all about precision all day long.
Yeah, we'll see what these guys can do here as we are just finishing up this warm-up. Got about a minute left. Jacob Malone in that 54. He is the quickest so far. Jake Christenberry, fast as well. It's going to be a blast here in Phoenix. These guys getting ready. We'll have the grid for you in just a few moments and have the starting lineup. Alan, I know you've raced at this track pretty recently. What stands out to you about a track like this?
Well, it's going to be all about patience. You know, we raced this track here on Tuesday night with the Western States Racing League. I know a number of these drivers here got on there with that league to kind of test some things out. And I'm wondering, in my mind, how does that get to translate from the truck to the Cup car here today? As you know, some of these drivers will find ways to get on the racetrack that they're scheduled to be at that week. So, you know, whether it's the Western States Racing League or the public lobbies.
All right, well, with warm-up complete here, we're getting ready to roll off of the grid. Most everybody is ready here on the grid. Bentley Glazer on the outside. He's going to have Nathan Finnegan on the pole. Let's go ahead and show you our starting lineup. Nathan Finnegan on the inside with Bentley Glazer to his outside. Switch that over so it moves on us. We've got Brian Smith and John Ross making up row number 2, followed by Michael Taylor and Adam Ball. Nathan Brzezowski and Patrick Colby making up row number 4, followed by Jacob Smith and Kevin Gunther. Cody Eldred and Joshua Parent make up row number 6, followed by Jeff Dillon and Zach Lockett. John McNeil and Scott Tompkins are going to make up row 8, followed by Michael Milfelt Jr. and Charles Woods. Might have to hurry this up just a little bit. Justin Bissonette, Leroy Koblenz, and Charles Woods there. Chris Mackey and Kevin Bankert. Jake Christenberry, Brad Delph, Jake Rowell, and Paul Crumray. Pace car's going off, so we'll try to run through this quickly here. Chris Camburn, Robert Blauen, Jeff Hollingsworth, Jacob Malone, Shane Cochran, Jacob Glodulich, the Drift King there, Ryan Patty, Travis Gilbert. We're going to go ahead and get back to the green flag here. We're racing here. Nathan Finnegan leads them down for the first time. We are rolling here in Phoenix. Trouble already in the back. Trouble. Kevin Gunther seems to have gotten the worst of it. Guys got sideways there, but no caution yet.
No, that's not
Oh,
going to be
trouble
a
down the
caution.
front straightaway. Now Paul Crumray is going to go around, and that will bring out the caution. This contact with Ryan Patty.
Not the way you would have started off 180 laps here at Phoenix. You know, if in this league's hard enough, Liam. If you get buried early on in this race, it's so hard to catch back up.
Let's go back and take a look and see what happened here. Going slow-mo. It's way on the bottom of the track. Yeah, Crumray's going to come back down the track there. We'll see if we can get a better and quicker angle here. On board here with Crumray. He's just working the middle. He's got one to his outside. And maybe didn't know he had another one in there. Back up front, Crumray, well, not up front. Crumray's going to get some service done, but back up front, Nathan Finnegan holds on to the lead. Brian Smith was able to get up in there into second place.
You know, Liam, I gotta wonder if these guys will watch the real life Cup race to kind of see what they're doing and mimic what those guys in real life are doing. Right now, you got last year's season champ Brian Smith running second to Nathan Finnegan, and this is what I alluded to early on in the season at Daytona. That whatever that 78 car, that 6 car is going to surely be at, as we get lined up 2 by 2 behind that iRacing.com pace car, it's going to be the same verse, same as the second verse, same as the first, if you will, as we get ready to go back to green flag racing.
Well, we're going to come back to a restart here. The pace car is going to make that hard left turn once again. Finnegan going to lead him down after just one green flag lap. Doubled up a very quick first caution of the day. Through the restart zone, green flag back in the air. Finnegan gonna lead him down. Smith trying to stay to the outside, getting into turns 1 and 2. Bentley Glazer under fire here from the 08 of Michael Taylor up on the top side. Looking back through the field, looks like caution.
Ooh.
The 8 car gets hard into the outside wall. It's gonna be Kevin Bankert. Contact there with the 97 of Hollingsworth as well, and that's going to bring out the caution for the second time today. I believe Hanover Fist as well.
Well, and you know, Liam, to your point, we've seen this, you know, Wednesday night in the EOL series where they had 2 quick cautions, and then they went green flag racing for quite a while, and just, oh man, nowhere to go. It's cold tires on a hot racetrack.
Yeah, and these guys really aren't able to get enough heat into them after just a couple of corners. Try to take another look at this one from high above, or at least from the television camera. This happened way in front of it. See here if there's a little bit of contact. Oh yeah, slid up, got into the 88. Nowhere for Hollingsworth to go. Blauen gets checked up there, and the 51 goes sideways. Doesn't look like he hit anything. It's Caden Henry Oaks getting away. See what that 69 machine saw. Not a lot of damage there. Back up front, it's still Finnegan. Smith, then Glazer, then Taylor, then Ross. The boss, John Ross, as you like to call him, Alan.
Yeah, the boss, John Ross, and that 44 car. The best running adrenaline racing car on the racetrack right now. But, I mean, it's still early. We're under the second caution as we get lined up. And, you know, one of the oddest restart zones, you know, in the schedule is the iRacing.com pace car is going to peel off here in turn number, 1 and 2. Or turn 2, but we won't go green until we get to the other end of the back straightaway.
Some fans of the 22 in the chat here. Anthony Tizio. Got Alexeg. I don't know how to say that. 5677, though. Andrew Dell. Steve Hersey. Some guys rooting on that number 22 driver. So after 2 quick cautions here, gonna go green on lap number 9 here in stage 1. Gonna have 36 laps to go in this first stage. Ends at 45. Fantastic restart, everybody fanning out once again. Nathan Finnegan able to get out strong, and now Bentley Glazer looks to the inside in that 36 Mountain Dew machine. Coming up off of turn number 2, we've got another one.
Oh.
Jake Roll is around. And Matt Everett might have something to do with that as well in the 5 machine. See if we can see what happened to Jake. Looks like 4 wide getting in there. He gets into Millfelt, and then the 42, Leroy Koblenz, slides up and gets into the 36 of Roel. Slides back up the racetrack, and it looks like maybe a couple of guys are going to get tagged, Matt Everett being one of them. Fantastic save there out of the 155, and now everybody's just scrambling to get through, and everybody but the 5 got through without getting a piece of it.
Liam, if you're the front drivers there, Nathan Finnegan having connection issues, and Brian Smith, what is that doing to your psyche right now with 3 cautions right off the bat here?
I'd imagine everybody's just going to want to get some green flag running in here. It's going to be kind of universal whether you're having connection issues or not. You're going to be antsy for sure. If you are having connection issues, you're going to want to be able to get away from people and let that sort itself out, because I feel like you're going to overload. Not overload, but it could stress out the server a little bit on your end.
Finnegan and Brian Smith continues to lead this thing after, we're on caution number 3. Bentley Glazer, guy we saw on Tuesday night there with the Western States Racing League, WSRL, one of those drivers that most likely I would assume used that night as a test in the trucks to see what he can learn for this weekend.
Lights are going off on the pace car once again. 3 cautions. Very early on in this race. It seems like these guys are really struggling to keep the tires underneath them on these initial restarts. And running around here at 55 miles an hour is not going to heat up the tires as much as you would like. we'll see what these guys got after third caution of the race. Going to go green on lap number 13, leaving 33 laps left in the stage, 12 laps complete.
Third time a charm?
It's entirely possible.
Anything's possible.
Oh, that looks weird. I don't think we're going to try that. Oh, that looks better. Green flag back in the air. Nathan Finnegan drives away. This time he got a great restart, too. 3 car lengths getting into the first couple of corners. Looking back in the field here. So we see some of these guys driving past, making sure that we could get through cleanly. Coming up off of turn number 2. Everybody's going to do that for, I believe, that should be the first time. Nathan Finnegan comes across the start-finish line, and we've got a lap under green. Brzezowski.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't say it.
That 77 machine, he's working his way up to the top 5. He's got the 52 of Jeff Dillon making the move on his outside. Adam Ball racing for a top 10 spot with John McNeil. McNeil is he's an established driver throughout this Icon Racing Series. Not a lot of guys want to see his rear bumper.
Well, the 6 car is the guy they're chasing right now, and he's driven off to just over a 0.3 of a second lead over Brian Smith.
Some battles back in the middle of the pack here. Michael Milfeld Jr. for Highline Racing. Running in the 16th position, trying to get around now Adam Ball, who's fallen back a little bit. He's got that 32 of Cody Eldred on his outside, but Adam Ball saw him inside the top 10. Now he's back in here for 14th, and we've got trouble with Chris Mackey. Around down the front straightaway, the caution's going to come out for the 4th time today.
Car was not in good hands with Allstate.
So we'll see if we can take a look at what happened. He's kind of on his lonesome coming up off of turn number 4. Just gets sideways coming up off and it's a little inside wall contact, and that's enough to bring out the caution. Just a really kind of lazy spin situation there. Not much he can do. He's going to come in and get some of that repair taken care of. Still early on enough as where nobody's going to want to make this pit stop quite yet.
No, not yet. I mean, we're not even halfway through stage 1.
You got 5 sets in the pits plus what you start on, so these guys are not going to be hurting for tires in situations where they might need them, but track position is definitely going to be key, like you talked about a little bit earlier. You're not really going to want to take the chance of losing track position, especially when you know it's going to be tough to pass. And, well, we've seen a lot of yellows early on so far. Really takes away a lot of those laps that you can use to pass.
I definitely, I did run some laps here in the Cup car on Friday night, and Liam, that coming down off the racetrack, cutting that dog leg is just so aggressive. on these race cars, and just the closing speed that you get with these cup cars now with the higher horsepower is just insane. As we get ready to go 2x2, Noah's Ark style behind that Iracing.com pace truck. I mean, Liam, we still have 100 and some laps left to go. We're not even halfway through stage one already under the fourth caution tonight. It's gonna be, in my opinion, a race of attrition before this thing's all done with.
Yeah, we shall see. We've already seen 4 cautions within the first 20 laps. We're going to go green on lap 21. 25 left in stage 1. Brian Smith on the outside trying to get some heat in his tires. And he's got Jacob Smith just behind him. Also getting a little bit of heat in the tires. Some teammates there on the outside. We'll see if they can make a little bit of hay, as Nathan Finnegan has been virtually unstoppable on all of these restarts. A new face in Michael Taylor up to 3rd place. Green flag is in the air, and the outside gets together, but the inside, Nathan Finnegan drives away. A lot of action through the middle of this pack here. Separation towards the back. Coming up off of turn number 2, a little bit of contact. Malone makes contact with McNeil, who bounced off the wall. They're 3 wide, just around that Jeff Dillon, Jonathan McNeil area. Malone now back down to the inside of McNeil as they're 3 wide once again with the Rocket. Zach Lockett trying to get himself up into the top 10. Of course, your winner in Daytona after a wild last lap. The seas parted in front of him, and he was able to get through, get the job done. Right now, it's a little bit different game as the draft is not going to be as important. Not going to find well, we are going to find a caution as Brad Delph is around on the back straightaway.
Oh, boy.
92 of Powell was in it as well. Now let's take a look from the drone cam high above. Not quite high above yet. Brad's got a huge run, makes contact there with the Powell machine, and well, that angle didn't tell us a whole heck of a lot. Let's see if we can find what happened to Powell. Up the racetrack, he's coming down, and sure, he was just trying to get that run coming up off of turn 2 and didn't expect the 72 to be right there so quickly. Tough break there for Brad Delph, though, as he's got a little bit of front end damage. Doesn't look like it's going to be too terrible, but take a look at that right side as he goes by. He did take a significant hit in the door. Back to live pictures here, and you can see Powell getting some of that damage repaired. A little bit of shakeups up front. Brian Smith fell back to 6th in that restart. Jacob Smith was able to get up to 3rd. Michael Taylor up in 2nd position now. It really does seem like that inside on the restarts, Alan, is unbeatable.
Yeah, exactly. And, Michael Taylor's got to be thinking to himself, what do I need to do to get around that number 6 cars? We got new players up here in the front rows as, Bentley Glazer, who's also good on restarts. Don't count him out of this restart, but Nathan Finnegan, to your point, has had that inside line on lock all race long.
Yeah, and hasn't really had enough time for anybody to come and challenge him for that race lead. We've had a lot of cautions early on. 5th caution going to be complete here with 20 laps to go in stage number 1. I see some comments here. It was labeled as a racing deal with the 72 coming up and the other car coming back down. So unfortunate for the 92 and for the 72, but we're green once again. Finnegan leads him down. Smith takes away second place. Towards the back of this field here. Coming up off of turn 2. Milfelt tags the wall just a little bit. Adam Ball back here as well. Jake Rowell trying to work his way up after getting sideways earlier on, bringing out the caution flag. Our battles here in this mid-pack here as we're trying to complete a few more laps in this stage under green. Finnegan holds on to the lead now, but Jacob Smith is starting to close in. Just as I say that, Finnegan gets an excellent exit off of 2. Starts to gap that poor machine by just a hair.
Well, you know, there you see the 78 car, Brian Smith, back there in 4th place, stalking the top 3 like a lion in the wilderness there.
You see Jacob Malone now working the outside of Dylan. And Alan, that's a really good point you bring up about Brian Smith here. As we look at him high above, look at how close he's getting to that 08 Michael Taylor. We're going to see as they get into turns 1 and 2 the different types of lines these guys are going to take. And I know we talk about it week in and week out. But as this race progresses on, you're going to see that line move up and up and up the racetrack. I'm not sure if we're going to see guys getting right up next to the wall, Kyle Larson style. But I do think these guys are going to continue to move up, and we're going to see passes made up on the outside as here's the 9 of Chris Mackey going down a lap. And the caution is out once again. John McNeil goes around in turns 3 and 4. Brad
think
Delph
if this
looks to be involved as well. He jumped to the pits.
I think at this point the pace car might lead more laps than the States and Nathan Finnegan.
See what happened here. They're coming up off of turn number 2. It's the 45 of Tompkins rather, gets into him, gets into the 77. McNeil sent into that outside wall. Once again, we're getting that comment that Smith smells like cheese, and there is more than one Smith in this race. Steve Hersey says that's ominous, and Anthony Tizio says the world may never know which Smith we're talking about. Fake out on pit stops here is Jacob Smith and Brian Smith as well. Both of them tried to go down in there and fake out a pit stop. Brock Hersey says let's go CCR, ECR. Keep it up, Nathan. Well, Nathan's led every lap so far here today at Phoenix. But a decent amount of yellow flags so far. Working our 6th caution flag of the day. Currently working lap number 31. Should be getting the restart on lap 32.
We're getting there.
Getting to the end here of stage number 1. Nathan Finnegan has led every lap so far. As a matter of fact, let's just put this up to confirm it. It says Jacob Smith has led a lap. Might have been able to sneak one on a restart or something, but that I am not sure of. Biggest gainers so far, Jacob Malone. He's gained 23. He's up to 7th. Travis Gilbert up 23, up to 11th. 20 spots gained for Caden Henry Oaks. Ryan Patty has gained 16, and Matt Everett has gained 15. Coming to the restart. Once again here, 6th caution going to be complete. Lap 33. This one will take the restart. 13 to go in the stage. Green flag back in the air. Finnegan gets away strong.
And there's that land rush that we talk about all the time here at Phoenix, cutting that dog leg. And everybody's going to get through unscathed. The leaders are going to get through.
No, we're not.
Oh!
John McNeil gets into the back of the 31, I believe, was where the initial contact was made. Kevin Gunther goes around, and we are cautioned for the 7th time today. Chris Camburn is caught up in that as well in the 88 machine. Not sure if he got much damage there or if he just stopped to avoid the crash. Take a look, see what happened here. Actually, McNeil was nowhere near this incident. Gunther just gets into the back of the car in front, gets him sideways. McNeil kind of drives through, and yeah, you see the 88 locks up his front tires to try to stop and avoid hitting that 31 of Gunther. Let's see if we can get an onboard angle. With the 88. Roll bar really kind of gets in the way, doesn't let you see exactly what's happening, so we'll try with the cockpit cam. Driver's eye.
It's a soft hit.
Yeah, nothing too major. Gonna be doubled up once again here. Working our 7th caution of the race. Tonight's broadcast of the Icon Cup Series is sponsored by TZO Designs. TZO Prints creates clean, purpose-built 3D printed die-cast display mounts designed specifically for racing fans and collectors who want to showcase their cars the right way. With more display designs and motorsports-inspired products coming soon, it's the perfect time to start building your collection. For the next month, Icon Cup Series viewers can get $5 off their order by using code ICON2026 at checkout. That's ICON2026 at checkout. Just search TZO Prints on Etsy or go to TZO Designs on Instagram to check out the shop and start building your display. TZO Prints, designed by and for racing fans. Lights are off on that pace truck once again. I'm really hoping to get some laps under our belt here, but this track has been treacherous. There's a lot of space to go, but it all seems to funnel back together, and guys are getting closer and closer than they want to. Contact being made. We've seen a couple of solo spins as well, so this track has been treacherous all day. See if we can get some green flag laps in, get it kind of cleaned off, get the dust off of it, and widen up this racing line so we can see some more green flag passes. Nathan Finnegan going to lead them into the zone. It's on that loud pedal pretty good, and the Smiths are up on the outside. Not the band, the drivers. Try to get that 2nd and 3rd position. Looks like they're going to be able to do it, as here comes a move down to the inside by Jacob. Not quite able to do it, as here comes Brian up on the outside in trouble once again. Cody Eldred is around, along with the 51 of Caden Henry Oaks. Blauen comes to a stop up against the wall. Kyle Diaz, I believe, got a piece of it as well. Yeah, you see that 26 car sideways. Leroy Koblenz might have a piece of that as well.
Was the 26 sponsored by Klondike?
Yep.
I tell you what, I would get some green flag racing for a Klondike bar.
Let's go ahead and see what happened here to bring out the caution for the 8th time. Looks like potentially Caden Henry Oaks gets into the back of Eldred.
Like Shane Cochran was involved there for a minute.
Take a look on board with the 51. He's all over the back bumper of that 32.
Oh.
Couldn't tell you there. If there was a contact, it was very slight. But it was just enough. Kyle Diaz makes contact with the front end of the 51 of Henry Oaks. That's what gets him turned sideways. More cars coming in to get damage repairs. We have 39 laps complete this time. Lights go off on the pace car and on the Cactus. It's one of my favorite things about this racetrack, Alan. It's so visually pleasing.
Oh yeah,
We've got a Cactus
cam.
So we'll be able to watch this next restart from the Cactus cam. Watch it turn green as Nathan Finnegan dives back down to the bottom.
My favorite track to watch restart at is Texas with the light posts when they light up. Or the fence posts, rather.
Yes. Yeah, that is a really cool deal. That the caution comes out. You got all of the fence posts blinking so everybody knows what's up. Really good way to get that message out there. It's can be tough with those little caution lights. With the whole tower looking like it's yellow. Everybody knows what that means. Green flag in the air. The Cactus is green, and so are we. Nathan Finnegan gonna lead him down into turn number 1. Looking back through the field here. Oh, a little bit of contact. Around is gonna go the 06.
Are you kidding me?
He saves it. We continue green. Five laps to go in the stage. Or 4 laps, rather.
Brian Smith looking for a stage win here. As we have 4 laps to go. We're side by side, 3 wide towards back, about mid back there. On board with Brian Smith right now, coming to the end of the stage number 1.
Brian Smith, he started in second, currently sitting in third, trying to get himself a nice run coming up off of turn 4, gets sideways, gets into the wall. Ran the fastest lap of the race that time around. 3 laps to go here in stage number 1. Look at Jake Rowell, who's been able to get himself up into the top 10. He's racing for the top 5 right now with Joshua Parrott in the 22 coming up off of turn number 2. Glazer trying to work his way up to the outside. Rowell drives it in deep. He's going to slide up the racetrack just a little bit. Joshua Parrott rather, gets really close to the outside wall. Doesn't hit it though. 2 laps to go for Nathan Finnegan, and there's a lapped car just in front. That's Zach Lockett. He's going to be trying to hold on to this lead lap here. He should be in good position for the free pass if he does lose this lap. But is that going to cause any dirty air or difficulties for the 6 of Nathan Finnegan as here comes Smith right to the back bumper. Dirty air slides him up the racetrack a little bit. Has to let up off of the throttle. Coming up 1 lap to go in the stage.
1 lap to go. Brian Smith trying to maybe make something happen here.
Rowell gets up into the door of Joshua Parrott, pushes him up the racetrack. They're both going to lose. Well, Parrott's going to lose a couple of spots. Rowell able to get up into the top 5, and he's going to finish stage 1 in 5th. But Nathan Finnegan wins stage 1. Travis Gilbert going to cross the line in 10th. He's going to get the final stage point. I believe he just got beat by Josh Parrott at the line. Ninth caution of the race here. At the end of the first stage, and that is a stat that these drivers will not particularly enjoy. However, with as many cautions as we've had, we've still got 33 drivers on the lead lap as Zach Lockett was able to hold on to that. Caden Henry Oaks, he's got some damage along with John McNeil, but they're still on the lead lap. They should be able to continue to pit and get some more of that fixed. Robert Blauen, I might have supposed to have been taken off that goggles paisano part. So my apologies there, Robert. Doesn't seem to have a lot of damage on this car. He's just been in the middle of everything and has come to a complete stop numerous times to avoid making contact. Really heads up driving there, but the results are unfortunately not showing it the way that he would like. Jacob Smith gonna stay out here. He came in under the lap 38 caution along with Nathan Brzezowski. So they essentially flipped the stage, taking away the opportunity for stage points so that they can start this next stage from the front. And now Jacob Smith definitely has led a lap. We'll take a look at these lap leaders, and now it is correct that Smith has led that one lap.
Yeah, absolutely. So we finally got some green flag laps, and then the caution comes out for the stage break. So 8 cautions, 4 calls in the first stage. Let's hope that now we can all hit the reset button. And I think we kind of got the nerves out of, the nerves gone, and we can really settle in and make some laps around this 1 mile oval.
Taking a look at some of our comments here. They're pretty pleased with the TZO designs.
Looks like
great products, they say. They've got a good deal on the 3 and 5-pack display stands. I tell you what, Alan, I've got a lot of die casts. I've got more than I know what to do with, and if I could get me some of those stands and displays and stack them up on top of each other, that would really aesthetically please me. That would make the collection look great. I'd be able to utilize more space. You know, it's like
definitely.
I've got these bookshelves with cars on them, but you got so much space up above the cars.
Hey, maybe Tizio can send you some and do a product review on them. Just saying.
Well, that is an option. Well, we stayed with this beautiful backstretch camera all around. Now Jacob Smith is going to lead this race for the first time. We've got a driver on the inside of the front row that is not named Nathan Finnegan. Nathan Brzezowski, however, is a Nathan on the front row. He takes the outside. Matt Everett, Justin Bissonette, and Travis Gilbert, your top 5. Green flag in the air. And away goes Jacob Smith. Trouble, Brian Smith gets turned around. Big crash, Nathan Finnegan, Jake Rowell. They slide up the racetrack. Leroy Koblenz is in it, Jacob Malone.
The big one has erupted here in Phoenix.
Huge crash here to start stage number 2. We're going to have a lot to break down here.
We got a lot to break down. They had a breakdown.
I know a lot of people aren't super fond of the blimp cam for crashes, but this is the best way for us to break down exactly what happened. You're going to see the 5 and the 78 get turned sideways first, and it looks like the 5 just comes up the racetrack and hits Smith. Gilbert's going to get turned around, and as everybody checks up trying to avoid the crash, some guys get checked up sooner than others. You see the 30 getting up into the 44 of John Ross. That time, Blauen did make some significant contact to the back of Koblenz.
Yeah, to me, this all started with the 5 and the 78 just, close quarters racing. Neither one of them had anywhere to go.
Take another look here. Speed it up for you. Yeah, Matt Everett comes up the racetrack trying to follow the 77 of Brzezowski. And it just closes up the entire racetrack.
Traffic jam on I-10.
So John Ross, Nathan Finnegan, Chris Camburn, Jake Christenberry, Robert Blauen, Brian Smith, Zach Lockett, Leroy Koblenz, Cody Eldred, Kevin Gunther, Kyle Diaz, among the names involved in that last crash. Getting doubled up once again. We're going to try this again for stage number 2. We're under our 10th caution, 9th for cause. One stage end, won by Nathan Finnegan, who's now going to have himself a tough deal to overcome after getting involved in that last caution. Getting back to the restart here. It's Jacob Smith, Nathan Brzezowski, Justin Bissonette, Jacob Malone, and Matt Everett still in the top 5 after that spin. Interesting stuff. Green flag back in the air. Not a great restart there for the inside, especially around that 5 machine. Getting into turns 1 and 2 for the first time, taking a look through the field. It looks good so far. Off a 2 for the first time here in stage 2 under green. 3 wide action getting into turns 3 and 4 rather. Everett's all the way on the apron. Milfeld almost got a shot for Michael Taylor there. Taylor now works his way back up into the top 10, trying to work forward. He came in on lap 47 compared to the top 2 who came in on lap 38. Smith trying to work his way around as Jacob Malone in that 54 trying to utilize his fresher tires to take away second, and he does. Take it away from Brzezowski.
Yeah, Jacob Malone doing Jacob Malone things. Not cutting the dog leg. You know, there's going to be a lot of different strategies as this race goes on. Do you cut the dog leg? Do you not cut the dog leg? I know a lot of people on the service can take that either way. Some prefer to have it, or you can cut it, some don't.
I think it can really upset the car if you don't do it right, but... this battle here just outside the top 20. There's a gaggle of cars just in front. Paul Crumray, one of the first drivers to have spun around in this race, trying to recover from that. Started this race in the 26th position. Look at now the inside of Matt Everett's. Oh, and he gets sideways coming up off of turn 4. Good save to keep it down there on the bottom and keep it off of the wall. How many times, even today in the Cup race, did we see guys overcorrect and go into the outside wall, into traffic? Fantastic job there by the 96.
Exactly. Even the tires had troubles today in the real world race. But if you haven't watched it, we're not going to spoil it. As Jacob Smith and it's Team Jacob up here in the front. Jacob Malone's picked up 28 spots from where he started from.
Definitely our biggest mover of the day. Let's take a look at some of our best battles right now. Crumray versus Gilbert. This guy's, oh, trouble. Back straight away. John Ross goes into the inside wall. No caution.
Boss. I can tell you, in a battle between the drivers and that outside and that outside wall, the retaining wall's got the upper hand right now.
Do apologize for the graphic on top saying that there's 100 to go in stage 2. That is incorrect. I'm trying to get that taken care of. Stage 2 ends on lap 90, so there are 30 laps to go here in stage number 2.
Okay. Well, meanwhile, as we're watching the boss John Ross get caught back up to the field, it looks like Jacob Smith still has that upper hand at the front here. Nothing's changed. You're not missing anything. As Jacob Smith has driven out to a 1 second lead over Jacob Malone. So Team Jacob still holding down the first 2 spots. And now Jacob Malone's closing that interval in.
Yeah, he really is. Starting to chase him down. It's about half a second right now. He was a 10th quicker that last time.
Yeah, that's the eyeball test right there.
Fastest 5-lap average on this current run. Jacob Smith by about 100th over Jacob Malone. Scott Tompkins in 11th place. Nathan Brzezowski in 3rd and Jake Rowell in 4th. So 4 out of the top 5 are in the top 5.
Well, I can tell you right now, one driver's not on Team Jacob, and that is Nathan Brzezowski there in that number 77 car in 4th position.
Take a look at some of these repairs that have been made by drivers. Patrick Colby has had over 4 minutes spent getting some damage fixed. Chris Mackey with 3:11. You see Mackey back here in the 9. Patrick Colby in the 28. We talk about him having 4 minutes and 6 seconds of damage repairs. He's running in the 14th position. That team has done a really good job of repairing that car, getting him back into a competitive situation. Now he's currently trying to work his way back up into the top 10 after starting in 8th position. We got some fans of the 28 in the chat as well. Appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with us on a Sunday night. We had some incredible racing in Phoenix on the Cup side of things. Got some incredible racing here today on the Icon side of things as well. It was a tough first stage, 9 cautions. Second stage started with a huge crash involving at least 12 drivers. Since then, we've been green, and Jacob Malone is starting to lose a little bit of time to Jacob Smith.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my driver on the IndyCar side who won Saturday. That was Joseph Newgarden.
Yeah, Newgarden with a phenomenal drive on Saturday, and I tell you what, man, if you would have told me that Newgarden won that race, I would have been, yeah, big surprise. But then when you see how fast Rasmussen was and him making that pass late in the race, really set him up for an incredible win. A lot of fun to watch as we ride on board with Jacob Smith. Started at 9th, currently in 1st, driving that Ford Mustang.
Yeah, I like this for an eyeball test right here. Back to Jacob Malone. Jacob Malone's getting a way better entry, but it looks like Jacob Smith's getting a little bit better of an exit.
Yeah, Malone seems to be good in the center of the corner, but once they get up off, that's where you start to see the gap increase back in Smith's favor. '22 still got some fans in the chat. Joshua Parrott, the caution is out once again. Matt Everett, I believe, may be involved in this one. See what happened here in turns 3 and 4. Oh, yeah, there it is. 69 got in there a little too hot. Got into the back of Everett. Not sure if something maybe happened leading up to that. I mean, it seems like there's a significant gap between the two. Hanover Fist. I know that 5 wasn't cornering well, but I do feel like that was quite a set. Race Control deemed that one at fault for Hanover Fist, so he's going to probably start this one from the tail end. Jacob Smith still leads over Jacob Malone. I think we're going to go ahead and step side by side real quick. Show you guys how great our partner Premier Setups is. Got some real good stuff for you. We'll be right back.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
No. Yeah, it looks like Chris Camburn is involved in that one. 12 cautions on the night here, Liam. Oh, yeah. Who's that? Oh, they are all fanned out once again. And we're back under guard. Caution's free caution.
Oops, sorry about that mic issue there. Coming back to the green flag. Joshua Parent going to lead him down. Jacob Malone, Justin Bissonette, Jake Rowell, Nathan Brzezowski, your top 5. No trouble already at the 06 sideways. That's Bissonette. From the inside of the second row, gets turned sideways from the 39, hits that inside wall. Looks like Milfelt may have gotten a piece. This could be the end of stage number 2. Joshua Parent. There's going to be 2 laps to go here in stage 2. I believe, yeah, this is going to be the end of stage number 2. Joshua Parent wins it. Jacob Malone in second. Jake Rowell, Nathan Brzezowski, Michael Taylor, Bentley Glazer, Patrick Colby, Ryan Patty, and Michael Milfelt Jr. Zach Lockett works his way up into top 10 after almost going a lap down. I believe this might be a situation where the pits are closed with 2 laps to go in the end of the stage. Your top 10. Joshua Parent, Jacob Malone, Jake Rowell, Nathan Brzezowski, Michael Taylor, and Bentley Glazer make up top 6. Then Colby, Patty, Milfelt, and Lockett. Pits are open this time around. Stage 2 complete. Joshua Parent going to lead him down. John McNeil, Jacob Smith going to stay out. They came in on lap number 80. Going to try to flip this stage the same way that we saw a couple of other drivers do. Jacob Smith was one of them. So getting ready for the final stage. 14 cautions so far here. We're going to have just under 70 laps to go.
I would hope that these...
Sorry?
I said, I would hope these guys have settled down now.
Maybe a little bit.
Okay. I mean, look, we're only going to ramp it up to 10th. But, you know, look who's up there in the top 10. The 84 car, Robert Bloom, and that 84 car, the Cartoon Network car on a recovery run.
Yeah, I mean, he got involved in that big one. Other than that, it's really been just getting stopped to avoid crashes. He's made a lot of passes based on attrition alone, but now he's found himself up into the top 10. It'll be interesting to see what that Chevy Camaro can do. Robert Blowen out of Canada. British Columbia. take a look and see where some of our front runners are from. Jacob Smith from Northville, Michigan. John McNeil from Thatcher, Arizona. Matt Everett doesn't have a hometown listed right now. Adam Ball out of Clovis, New Mexico. Jeff Dillon rounding out your top 5 out of Millersville, Maryland. Caden Henry Oaks says he's from Antarctica, I believe. So we'll see on that. But top 10 single file. Everybody else behind him. I believe there was some sort of a tail end of the longest line issue. We're going to get ourselves a restart. Top 10 double file. Everybody else single file. Jacob Smith leads him down. John McNeil to his outside. Stage 2 complete. We're underway for the final 67 laps of this race. Bruce Camburn gets up into the outside wall. That's going to allow Shane Cochran, Michael Taylor, and Bentley Glazer to make a move on him. A little bit of contact up on the front with Jacob Malone. Looked like with Brzezowski. Now Taylor and Cochran are going to be able to get around him as well. Shane Cochran out of Richmond, Virginia. Trouble off of turn number 2. Trouble. The 45 goes around. Scott Tompkins.
Oh, man. Good news, he didn't hit anything.
Yeah, that was a very slow and lazy spin. It is going to bring out the caution once again. But like you said, great news there is that he didn't hit anything. Looks like he just went around all on his lonesome, too. We'll ride on board here. So he works through turns 3 and 4. See if he maybe got the apron or something. Nope, just a little soon on the gas. Gets her sideways. Gets her stopped and drives it away. Yeah, I'm just basing it off of what the little flag logo says for the club. We've got Jake Roel, says he's out of Germany. So we'll,
If Caden Henry Oaks is from Antarctica, he's got to be one frozen race car right now. But anything's possible.
Scott Tompkins out of Long Island, New York. Jake Roel doesn't show his hometown at the moment, but well, the weather is perfect for racing. Air temp is 75, track temp is 82. It has cooled down about 9 degrees since we started this race. Humidity is very low, and it is very, very clear in the sky. Just a couple of clouds over there.
It's a great day for a race. This is what I call Chamber of Commerce type weather. Humidity really doesn't come into effect here in the desert. It's a dry heat.
Steve Hersey caught your quote there, quoting Jason Tatum, quoting Kevin Garnett. Anything is possible. We're working our 15th caution. This might be a league record. Now, this is a very treacherous racetrack. I don't blame the drivers so much as I do. Just, you got so many in such a small and tight area.
Okay. Andrew Dwell wins the comment of the night with Simpson up in the igloo. Come on.
That's awesome. Again, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in here live with us, watching these icon guys get it done. There's been a lot of cautions here today, but the attrition rate is still pretty low. 30 drivers on the lead lap. So while we've seen a lot of spins, haven't seen a lot of DNFs or major incidents. It's just a lot of restart incidents and slow and lazy spins as the green flag comes out once again. McNeil leads this time. Jacob Smith on the outside, going to be able to get clear for second. 3 wide for third, though. Matt Everett's stuck in the middle. Here comes Dylan up on the outside. And like I said, Alan, as this race progresses, you're going to see guys moving up the racetrack, especially in turns 1 and 2. Around goes to 33. Jake Christenberry down the back straightaway. Staying green. Back up front, John McNeil over Jacob Smith, and Jeff Dillon trying to close in for second place. Caution's out this time around as Chris Camburn goes around off of turn number 4. That's 16 on the day. Joshua Parent able to work his way up into the 6th position. John McNeil still leads. Chris Camburn brings out the caution. See what happens.
Gets loose.
Yeah, that overcorrection is so easy to do, especially in these next gen cars. We saw it happen with Ross Chastain. John McNeil holding on to this race lead under caution for the 16th time. We'll go ahead and step aside. Finish that quick little break we were trying.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Back live here at Phoenix. Ready to roll here for the restart after the 16th caution of the race. John McNeil leads him. Jacob Smith in second. Appreciate everybody still with us in these comments, dude. This is some funny stuff. What would you do for a Klondike bar? We're about to find out what John McNeil would do for a win. Green flag back in the air. Jeff Dillon to his outside, but he is under fire from everybody's favorite in the chat, Joshua Parent. The most popular driver of the day, I would say, makes a move down to the inside, trying to take the lead away from McNeil as well. Parent last pitted on lap 90. He's got 10 lap fresher tires than McNeil, and he's got a big push from Jeff Dillon. He's also got a little bit fresher tires than McNeil, but not quite as fresh as the 22. Dillon came in on lap number 84, compared to Parent on 90. McNeil on 80. McNeil holding out of this race lead for now, rocking the outside, getting right up next to the wall. I mentioned before, I wasn't sure if we'd see guys doing it, but it's working out right now for that 48 as he clears for the lead, coming up off of turn number 2.
Well, I gotta tell you what, McNeil, Parent, and Dylan Berter start running away because Team Jacob's coming up right behind him, and they're coming up fast.
Alan, you've been watching way too much Twilight. Joshua Parrott, Jacob Malone, Jeff Dillon, all chasing down John McNeil. Brian Smith. Saw him get caught up in a crash with Matt Everett. I believe that's actually what started the big one. Huge contact with a couple of cars. Leroy Koblenz up on the outside, and he's able to get himself back up into the top 5. Like I said, we've had 16 cautions in this race, but a lot of them are for 1 or 2 car incidents. We've seen numerous guys just get loose coming up off of the corner. That goes to show how difficult this track is, especially to keep the wheels underneath it. As look at Jacob Malone working his way up to the outside of Joshua Parrott to try to take away second. John McNeil slides up the racetrack, and that's going to cut a little bit of dirty air in front of Malone. Causes him to fall back into 3rd place. Here's a little bit of a look out of Joshua Parrott. Now here's a look out of Jacob Malone, making it 3 wide down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Not quite able to do anything as they get right back to business. Let's see if we can get up above these guys in the chopper, chase them around this racetrack as Brian Smith is now looking up to the outside of Jacob Malone. Smith makes a little bit of wall contact, as does Parrott. Smith right to the rear bumper of Malone. Which way does he go? He's going to make a little bit. Oh, Malone! Jacob Malone tried the slider. He makes it into a hole that didn't fit. John McNeil goes around. We're still green. John McNeil goes from the lead to 22nd.
And guess who's going to give the lead to? Now it's going to give Brian Smith the lead over Joshua Parrott. Brian Smith riding off into the sunset.
Jacob Malone takes away second from Joshua Parrott. Nathan Brzezowski in 4th. Let's go ahead and try to take a look at that crazy pass for the lead. Here it is from high above once again. Or rather, that's the pass for second before. McNeil gets sideways. I still can't believe he saved that thing, man.
I mean, yeah, what an incredible save that was.
Malone gets in there. He tries to slide Parrott. Just not quite enough space. Gets into the back of McNeil, who makes heavy contact there with Michael Taylor. Keeps his car going straight, but that caused a lot of damage. Brian Smith leads this race. Jacob Malone is starting to close in ever so slightly. It was a 10th in his favor that last time around. You can see on the left side of the screen that 0.8 of a second gap. Shrinking just a little bit.
There we go. There we see that shrinkage. There's the eyeball test. That's what 0.9 of a second looks like from Jacob Malone to Brian Smith.
See a run through of our drivers up on the top here. A little bit different of a ticker than we're used to. Again, courtesy of Shane Cochran. That guy is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, look,
on the racetrack right now, sitting in 16th place. He started this race outside of the top 30. Good job by him getting through a lot of this stuff. We haven't seen him get caught up in very many, if any, incidents here today.
Yeah, these races here for Shane Cochran, he's just wanting, I spoke to him after the race on last Sunday at Texas, and he just wanting to make laps, wanting to learn from these guys. He recognizes that this is a hard league. You know, we got Papa Shane down, or Papa Cochran down there spotting for him, letting him know how he's doing on the racetrack and where these guys are. And pretty much the guy, you know, Shane's dad is responsible for keeping that car straight, even though Shane Cochran's doing it all behind the wheel.
Yeah, it's been a bit of an up and down day for him. Was able to get inside of the top 20. Fell back outside almost 230th. Low of 31st where he started this race. Been as high as 8th. Well, if we take a look at Jacob Malone's chart, been a little bit different. He started again in the 30th position. Was able to work his way up to the top 5. Took 4 tires on that first stage. Stayed up in the top 5. Has gotten himself up into the lead a couple of times. Another 4-tire pit stop. Joshua Parent has been able to stay relatively close to the top 10. He started at 11th. The lowest he's been was P16. He's led 11 laps on the day. 3 4-tire pit stops for Joshua Parent so far. Nathan Brzezowski took a fuel-only stop and 2 4-tire pit stops. Thank you. Thank you for the blessing there, Steve Ersey. I tried to hit the mute button, but I guess it didn't go through, so thank you for that. Michael Taylor, he's been up front most of this thing. High of P2, a low of P14, but if you look at that chart, it has really stayed right around that top 5 area. It currently sits in the 5th position. Been as high as P2, ran P3 for a good portion of the early part of this race. Now here's a guy, to quote Chris Collinsworth, now here's a guy. We took a look at the times that these guys were spending on pit road for repairs specifically, and this guy was already over 4 minutes and getting into the top 10. Now he's sitting in the 6th place. Take a look at this chart here, and he came in right away to get some repairs. He's been repairing it all throughout the first stage. Last time he came in at the end of stage number 2, he was able to come in for 4 tires and fuel, not have to really get much done on that car, so really good job by the 28 crew getting that car back into ship shape, and now he's back up racing for a top 5 spot if he can chase down Michael Taylor and Nathan Brzezowski in front of him. Bentley Glazer started 2nd, hasn't really left the top 10 very much. He's been as far back as 15th place up to 2nd, hasn't gotten his nose out front quite yet, but we've still got a ways to go, less than 40 to go. But still, 37 miles left in this race. Ryan Patty, another driver who's had some recovering to do. Early on in the race, had to get some repairs done. Took 4 tires at the end of stage number 1. At the end of stage 2, had to stay in a little bit longer to get some more repairs done. But we mentioned that dent on the front of his car is no longer there. So those guys able to do a good job of pulling out that splitter, pulling out that front end, making it more aerodynamic. He's able to chase down Bentley Glazer. He's getting right to the rear end. Wouldn't be able to do that if the aero was messed up on the front end. Alan, talk with us about Travis Gilbert's day.
Yeah, Travis Gilbert here, currently running 9th, and he's been as high as 5th and low as 34th is where he started at. He hasn't led any laps. Here he is in that number 3 car. You know, he's been dabbling in some other racing leagues here. You know, dabbles in the EOL, you know, racing league here and there before this season, but also dabbled in the Good Locker ARCA Cup or ARCA series, where you know he's been on that pro podium a couple of times this season. But here he is in the Icon Cup series, up 25 spots, currently running 9th. Another driver I want to take a look at just behind him is Chris Mackey in that number 9 car. He was, at the beginning of the race, wasn't in good hands with Allstate. He started 21st, currently running 10th. He's been as low as 36th, as high as P5. A really another up and down day. Just trying to avoid some of those accidents later on in the race. Been caught up in a couple of cautions. And if you go right behind him, that number 52 car, Jeff Dillon, out. Here he is, started 13th, up 2 spots from where he started at, as he is right on the back bumper of that 9 car. But he's been as low as 30th position. He's been as high as P2, currently running 11th. Hasn't really, been flying under radar all race long. Hasn't really done anything egregious.
Bentley Glazer's into the pits.
And Liam, this could be the money stop right here.
It really could be. These guys only have 60% fuel, so 70 laps is going to be too much for them to go. I know we started this race, or started this stage with a couple of caution laps. John McNeil also came in with him. We'll continue our through the field, but as these pit stops start, it's definitely going to shake things up. Take a look at some of these repairs. Again, Chris Mackey's crew has done 4 minutes and 3. The only other driver to go above 4 minutes is Patrick Colby, who has now worked his way into the top 5 with that Bentley Glazer pit stop. Travis Gilbert, we talked about him having an up and down day. Almost 3 minutes of repairs. Ryan Patty is on this list as well with 54 seconds. It's amazing they can get that front end pulled out in such a short time as Travis Gilbert comes in for another pit stop. The money stop is coming, Alan. Who's going to be the first to blink? Jacob Malone is 2 seconds off of Brian Smith. Nathan Brzezowski was able to get around Joshua Parent before Parent came into the pits. Now Parent is coming up off of the pit lane here in front of Ryan Patty and in front of Jacob Smith. Good pit stop here for Joshua Parent. We'll see if he can use those fresh tires to start closing back in on Brian Smith.
That's just 29 laps to go. I mean, all last season, we've seen Brian Smith take a gamble on pit stops here, and we've seen some drivers just, undercut these stages. There's your leader out of Northville, Michigan, and Nathan Brzezowski, Adrenaline Motorsports right behind them. But there's Nathan Brzezowski out of Adrenaline Racing, running in a solid 2nd position. And heard that 22 is on his money stop.
Go ahead and take a look at Nathan Brzezowski as he comes into the pits. You see where our top Chevy drivers are running. As Brzezowski comes into the pits, we'll actually take that one back down. Patrick Colby going to take over the race lead. Jeff Dillon back up to P2. As we take a look at our lap leaders, Nathan Finnegan led 47 of them. He's back in 27th position. Jacob Smith has led 32. He's currently sitting in 22nd after his pit stop. Brian Smith pitted, goes back to 11th. He's led 25 on the day. John McNeil has led 14. Joshua Parent has led 11. Patrick Colby just led his 2nd lap of the race, and Jacob Malone has led 4.
And the boss, John Ross, is in. The YouTube.com live chat gave Brian Smith a nickname.
Brian the Missile Smith. Jacob Malone to his outside. This is a battle for position.
We're 3 wide.
3 wide for position as Cambert's getting past as well. Huge gaggle of cars just in front of these two as they stay side by side. This could be the battle for the race lead. Brzezowski is just in front of them, getting a little bit sideways. Who's going to be able to take advantage? Up on the outside is Malone, and here comes Smith to the outside to follow Malone. I thought he was going to look down to the inside 3 wide, thought better of it. Jacob Malone gets in front of Brian Smith under the green flag pit stops. That 1 lap undercut really made a difference.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, now they're coming up on Cody Eldred. kind of pinches Malone down. That could give Smith the opportunity, but Smith doesn't get enough of a run or enough of racetrack to use coming up off of turn number 2. That's going to compromise his entry and allow Malone to get a good center and start to drive away just a little bit on exit. You see Smith getting a little bit squirrely coming up off of turn number 4. He is really wheeling that thing. Let's go ahead and ride on board with the missile. Brian Smith, see him fighting this wheel. He comes up off of turn number 2 right now. It doesn't seem super loose on him. See what happens as they work into 3 and 4. He shifted down into 4th right away. A little bit of apron contact or a little apron touch in to try to help this thing turn. This time around, it seemed a lot more stable, Alan.
Yeah, definitely. As we are watching Brian Smith, Patrick Colby getting a lot bigger up there in front of these guys. They're going to get their lap back the hard way. But you got to wonder, does Patrick Colby have to come in one more time? Did he undercut a stage?
Yeah, I think he's going to have to make a pit stop. And look at this battle. They're really racing it out, trying to take. This is a battle right now for 8th position, but after these pit stops cycle through, this will surely be a battle for the lead.
Yeah, it looks like Shane Cochran right now running 3rd if the race would end now. He'd be the last driver on the podium. And just as you say that, Patrick Colby on pit road. Cody Eldred taking over the race lead for the time being. 20 laps to go here at Phoenix. Nathan Finnegan has led the most laps today. He's the top of the lap leaderboard. He currently resides in 25th.
Cody Eldred jumps onto that board there. Shane Cochran P2 right now. I gotta wonder if these guys, they could be hoping for a caution flag to come out. We've seen enough of them today. And I wouldn't be shocked to see another, but 19 laps to go. Gotta wonder if some of these guys who came in on lap 100, like Jake Christenberry, Jake Roll, Adam Ball, if they're gonna be able to make it to the end here. I think it's going to be a tough ask for sure. Most of these guys pitted around the 40 laps complete mark. But what I will say is that Shane Cochran is still out there. He pitted 16 laps before Jake Christenberry.
Here he comes. He's coming up here.
So 16 laps difference. If Shane Cochran was running on empty there, I would believe Jake Christenberry could go potentially 14 more laps. 17 laps to go. It's going to be a tough ask to see if he can save enough fuel and keep those guys behind him. Jake Malone, 11 seconds behind, so he's going to have to try to keep about a second a lap better, or not better, but he's going to have to not let that gap drop by more than a second per lap. John McNeil
well, we found
the wall in front.
We found a cloud in the sky.
We did. Wow. See what that does to the racetrack, and if it cools it down a little bit, allows these guys some extra grip. Hayden Henry Oaks comes into the pits. Finnegan making a big move on roll. Jacob Malone is within 10 seconds now of Jake Christenberry. Sorry, that was Christenberry. He made the move on. Roel is back here, racing with Adam Ball. These drivers only about a second in front of Malone. Cody Eldred comes into the pits. Jake Roel is also going to come into the pits this time. He slides up the racetrack just a little bit in front of Malone. Malone with Blauen now. 15 laps to go, coming to 14. It's an 8-second difference between Malone and Christenberry. He's going to have to pull a little bit more speed out if he wants to keep that 54 at bay. Can he make it to the end on fuel? I'm looking at my calculations would say he's about 3 laps short.
Oh man, he needs a caution.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you can see how everybody else is able to get around him really easily. It seemed like when he was behind McNeil, he was letting off early. This could be a strategy to try to make it to the end, save up enough gas. But if he's saving right now, that would explain why Malone is able to close in so quickly. Malone also has 32 lap fresher tires. Christenberry this time it's a 6.6 second lead. Jacob Malone gaining about 7/10 that last time around.
It is Christenberry doing the Maxwell House strategy, getting everything and the last drop a little bit out of that car. And like you said, you got to wonder, did he save enough fuel to get to the end, or is there just enough fuel to get to the end and not a drop more?
It's 11 laps to go in a 6-second gap. He's really got to start gaining a couple tenths here per lap in terms of his own lap time. And the caution is out.
Ryan Patty,
Joshua Parent is in the wall with Ryan Patty. And that is going to be very unpopular on the YouTube chat. Taylor involved as well. Heavy damage to the left front of Joshua Parent. This changes everything, Alan, because Christenberry's going to be able to come in and make a pit stop and have super fresh tires. And a lot of these guys are going to have the question, is 15 laps enough time on my tires to need to come in for another stop? And is there going to be enough time here in this final 10 laps? Let's take a look to see what happened to bring out the caution there. The 22, the 30, and that was actually Patrick Colby in the 28, not Michael Taylor. Let's see here. Oh, it happened up in front. Ryan Patty was already around and nowhere for the 22 to go. Colby looking to the inside of Patty. Gets into him. Colby's going to spin it around to try to avoid. Caution's already out. Nowhere for that 22 to go. We'll take another quick ride on board there with Joshua Parent in a moment. Brian Smith stays out. Milfeld stays out. Everybody else comes in. Paul Crumray also stays out. Everybody else is coming in. Let's take a look at this pit summary here. Might have to wait on it just a few moments, actually.
Yeah, Christenberry had to come in. He's going to restart 8th.
Let's go on board with Parent here for that most recent caution. You can see on the far left, it's already happening there. And 22's momentum just kept him in the tire tracks of that spin. Not much he can do. Pit stop stats this last time around. 2 tires for Gilbert, 2 tires for Ball, Brzezowski, and Michael Taylor. Christenberry comes in for 4, 2 for Mackey, 2 for Lockett, 4 for Malone, 2 for Dillon, 4 for Diaz, Glazer, and Eldred. Brian Smith, Michael Milfeld Jr., elected not to pit this time, along with Paul Crumray. Mixed bag of strategies up front here, Alan, and we're coming up to, there's going to be 7 laps to go when they cross the stripe. I believe 6. No, we're taking the restart this time. 7 to go with the restart, Alan.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a short track Sunday night restart here on SRM and Icon. Prime time is the right time, as we quote our good buddy Matt Mettler. It's going to be Brian Smith, Michael Melfield Jr., looking to get his first win of the season. As we're into the restart zone. We are green flag racing. Brian Smith gets out to the early lead. 7 laps to go.
7 laps to go and fresh tires behind him. Here comes Gilbert looking to the outside. Brzezowski with 2 fresh tires. Gilbert with 2 fresh tires as well. He's up on the outside of Milfeld trying to take away second. He's got the run coming up off of turn number 2.
Meanwhile, the missile Brian Smith pulls away. Here comes Travis Gilbert, and I've bet the track number 33, number 3.
A little bit
Here
loose
comes
out of
Nathan
Brzezowski.
Brzezowski.
Sideways is one in the back. Still green. That looked to be Camber. He's around on the front straightaway. Still green. Brian Smith has Travis Gilbert looking to his inside, and Gilbert, with those 2 fresh tires, seems to have a lot of fight left in him. Brzezowski just behind, trying to figure out which way to go if these guys get to racing hard. Coming up off of turn number 4. Around goes Brzezowski!
What a save! Are you kidding me? Oh, he almost saved it.
Oh, man! Adam Ball! Huge contact!
That is going to trigger overtime.
It certainly is. Caution comes out for the 18th time today here on lap 156. It all started where Nathan Brzezowski got sideways coming up off of turn number 4, all on his lonesome. Not sure where Adam Ball got turned. Let's take another look here. Fantastic job to keep that 77 out of the wall, but unfortunately it was a moot point with the 19 coming sideways. Let's see what happened with him. There's a couple of them getting sideways. Oh, man. Just got clipped by Dylan there, and that got him wrecked.
Good thing these are virtual race cars, because that hit that Adam Ball gave to Brzezowski was hard.
Yeah, right into the driver's door, the 77. Brian Smith going to lead him now for an overtime attempt. Travis Gilbert will be in second with 2 tires. Michael Taylor on the inside of row number 2 with 2 tires. Chris Mackey will be 4th. Brian Smith going to be on an island of his lonesome with 18 lap older tires than the drivers he's racing around. Get a little race recap in here for you. Lap 158 out of the scheduled 160. Brian Smith leads the race, 18 cautions for a total of 55 laps. 8 lead changes throughout the course of this race. Let's take a look at some lap leaders as well. Got 9 different leaders. Brian Smith has led 32. Nathan Finnegan, 47, the most laps led, and he's going to be able to hold on to that. Speaking of Finnegan, he's currently sitting in the 11th position. Take a look at some of these team rosters. Finnegan and Eldred are teammates. Brian Smith, Michael Taylor, Jacob Smith, Jake Rowell, and Matt Everetts for Roll Smith. I believe this is correct. I know you guys will let me know if I'm wrong.
Oh yeah, YouTube.com live chat will let you know. Trust me.
Well, and also the league is really good about, constructive criticism as well, so we appreciate that. Travis Gilbert and Kyle Diaz for Gone Ron Racing. Time to get back to business here. Overtime. Two laps to get it done. It's going to be Gilbert on the outside of Smith. Taylor, Mackey, and Milfelt round out the top 5. 3 of these drivers have at least 2 fresh tires. Green flag is in the air. Smith able to get away by a couple of car lengths, and Michael Taylor moves down to the inside to try to take away second. Can these guys close in on Brian with just 2 laps to go? They're side by side, a little bit of contact for second, and that's exactly what the 78 loves to see in front of him. Or behind him, rather.
Yeah, but Travis Gilbert going to get the early, they're going to get the upper hand as Gilbert and Taylor, Goodyear to Goodyear, coming through the Geico restart zone.
They're both closing it. Around goes Taylor.
Oh,
around goes Mackey.
He saved
the
it.
white flag is out, sponsored by Tizio Designs. Brian Smith with Travis Gilbert looking to his outside. He's going to have the run coming up off of turn number 2. Jacob Malone comes up in 3rd place. Smith makes contact with the Gilbert. Big crash coming up off of turn number 2. They're side by side getting into 3 and 4. Travis Gilbert on the outside goes way wide. He's going to get into the wall. Coming across the line, Travis Gilbert steals one for Brian Smith. Jacob Malone in 3rd. Kyle Diaz 4th. We had wrecks all across the racetrack on that white flag lap. My goodness, we're going to have a lot to break down, but Travis Gilbert makes a last lap, last corner pass on Brian Smith to steal one.
Oh, are you kidding? Wow.
Your podium finishers, Travis Gilbert, Brian Smith, Jacob Malone, and Gilbert is going to burn it down here at Phoenix.
Congratulations to Travis Gilbert and Gone Wrong Racing. Pete Walsh congratulating Travis on that win there.
Gilbert gonna do a Polish victory lap. Let's try to break down this white flag lap.
We got a lot to unpack.
So here's coming to the white. Taylor's going to be the first one to go sideways. So he corrects it, gets back going. Jacob Malone is back here. Here's another crash with Smith. Kyle Diaz is going to be able to get through it. Sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit too much. Finnegan slides through to take 5th, and there's Milfelt getting ping-ponged. So we'll try that again. We'll start with the Taylor incident. Apparently a little bit of controversy here with the pass for the leads, so let's take a look at that. Sorry to jump around and break it down. So there's the contact there. They're side by side. Gilbert goes way up the racetrack. Bounces off the wall back down into Smith and crosses the line by about 3/100ths of a second in front of Brian Smith. And so I guess the controversy involved in that is that wall tap. They're trying to make sure that didn't, that it wasn't a wall ride situation. But for now, let's go ahead and bring in the driver who crossed the line first, our unofficial race winner, Travis Gilbert. Travis, it's Liam and Alan up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. How's it going, gentlemen?
Fantastic, man. What a move you made up on the outside on the last lap. Those 2 tires worked out for you. We're just watching you burn it down once again. What went into that move up on the outside? And we did notice a little bit of wall contact. Is that potentially what this controversy is about?
The 78 was never going to let me make the corner on the inside, so it is what it is. And I didn't wall ride, made a little bit of contact, but it ain't nothing that helped me. If anything, it almost wrecked me by getting me sideways. So, no, it just, if you've seen off turn 2, the 78, he's going for the win. He ain't going to let me go down to turn 3 and make the turn without having to run high. So that's what went into it, knowing I had the better tires. So just hoping to rip it on the outside and that he didn't push up into me and wreck me in the left rear and spin me and let somebody else win the race.
Well, Travis, you had yourself a phenomenal run here with this Vet to Track machine. Talk with us about your race. We're trying to pull up the chart here with how you did. It was definitely up and down, and you spent a lot of time getting repairs done. But that team did a good job of getting that car back up into ship shape and keeping you up front at the end.
Yeah, we started P34, chose not to qualify. We were just trying to keep our nose clean. We knew there was going to be a lot of accidents, just cutting the dog leg and just, it's Phoenix. It creates chaos, and that's why it was the championship race there for the longest time, because it did create some crazy finishes and some really unique opportunities for photography that you wouldn't really get, 6, 7, 8, 10 wide through the dogleg and stuff. So we just were trying to avoid all the carnage and stuff. And then we got up there, up to 5th, and then I'm not sure what happened. I'll have to go back and watch the replay, but we ended up getting involved in an accident off the restart. And I thought we were in good position. Like we were restarting on the bottom, had 2 tires after the stage. And I thought, just maintain tire position. We really had good track position at that point. So tire positioning mattered as far as not burning up the right front. So was just gonna go conservative, but then we ended up with over 4.5, almost 5 minutes worth of damage, and yeah, that's a long comeback fight here at Phoenix when you're pitted down pit road and the pace car comes around and catches you before you even get into your pit box a lot faster when you're not down further towards pit exit. So just a long race, long fight. This Vet to Track number 3 Ford Mustang's really fast. It's always really good here at Phoenix. So that was just, we knew that the cars were going to fall off and the wrecks were going to happen. So it was basically a race of survival at that point.
Yeah, well, before we let you go, we're just taking another look here at the last lap. But who do you want to thank for such a strong run in that Vet to Track number 3 machine?
Yeah, I got to thank my teammate Kyle Diaz in the 26, my buddy Ray Lane. He's always really fast running with us. My mom, she always watches. This is my first win in Icon, so thanks to Terry and Tweet. They're on vacation. They'll be watching, so we appreciate it. It'll be a good victory for them to watch. My girlfriend Cecilia, it's new thanking her, so the first win, being able to say that on a broadcast. So she really supports it and has fun with it and stuff, so I appreciate her. And my sister, my friends, Vet to Track, Jim Whittam, everything he does. Go visit www.vettotrack.org and go see what you can do to help out veterans. We're trying to save 22 veterans commit suicide a day. So we're trying to bring awareness to that and trying to, offer resources for those that are struggling with it. So, and that, I'd like to thank, Sim Racing Media. You guys do a good job. The league admin and Icon, it's a fun series to race in. It's competitive and it's putting on a full field. So really, really glad to, be in this league and get a win here in this league means a lot.
Well, awesome stuff, man. Congratulations once again, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again soon. Phenomenal race for that number 3 machine.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. You guys have a good week.
All right, now we're going to have second place, Brian Smith. Alan, I believe you've got Brian this time around.
Yeah, I got the missile Brian Smith down here on pit road. Brian, a great day here. Finished second here. Take us to that race of what more you could have needed to get around or to keep Travis Gilbert at bay.
Man, it was a very eventful race for me in the 78. I did not qualify on pole, which would have made things a lot simpler. Having that first pit stall would have been huge. But at the end of the day, that wouldn't even have mattered because got caught up in a wreck, spent most of that second stage and some of the final stage, I think, fixing the damage. So it wasn't until that final stage I was able to actually do some racing. And the little bit of green flag racing we had tonight was fun. I love driving this track. It's a shame that nobody else knows how to drive it without killing each other. But when it went green, it was a lot of fun. Dirty Air was the name of the game. I got stuck behind Jacob, who was super fast in the 54, coming to that final run there, and didn't think there was much I could do behind him. So when that yellow came out, I was like, just give me that clean air. And it was close to being the right call. I don't know. I probably should have blocked high on Travis going into turn 1 on the white flag, but I didn't. I felt like maybe he would overdrive 3, which he did, and the wall was there to help him out a little bit. So we'll just have to see what happens with that. But all in all, I mean, solid finish considering what happened tonight for me. So we'll hopefully have a lot more green flag racing at Vegas and have some fun there.
Yeah, definitely. You know, what's been the biggest challenge since the update in this car? Do you feel like that has been more challenging to this league than last year?
I haven't felt many major differences to last year yet. This was actually, I believe, the first race I've done with the 750 horsepower. So maybe a little more get up in this thing tonight. Nothing night and day, but definitely not going to turn away more power. I would certainly say add more, but dirty air is just the name of the game. It's going to be the name of the game pretty much everywhere we go. That's just the reality of it. And hey, you get to some like wide 1.5 miles like Kansas or Chicago, it's going to be a blast because you can kind of go where the other guy's not. Here at Phoenix, it was like you kind of got to follow the guy and you kind of got to try to make it happen, and it was just so hard. It was nice to get that clean air in that final run, or the second to final run there, and I think I opened it up to about a 2-second lead, so it was nice to show what I had. But ultimately, I guess if second's the call, then hey, I'll take it coming out of tonight.
Well, before we get you out of here, who do you want to thank and who helped you get it done on that 78 car?
As always, Anthony Tizio and Tizio Designs came up with this beautiful paint scheme for me tonight. So shout out Anthony. He sounds like he's got an Etsy shop going where he's making cool diecast stuff. So check him out for paints or anything like that. Thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast. As always, it's looking good. You guys have killed it this year. So thanks to everyone that watched, and thanks to everyone on track who at least made an attempt to keep the race green. It was fun while we did. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys at Vegas.
Congratulations, Brian. So back to you, Liam, in the booth.
Yeah, it was Brian Smith. Not super pleased with the second place, but he knows that it was an eventful race either way, and if he comes out of here with second, that is going to be a hell of a points day. Now we've got Jacob Malone coming up to join us here. Jacob, it's Liam and Alan in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you come home in third. You led a lot of laps here today. Didn't seem to have much, if any, damage until towards the end. I think you got caught up in one incident there, but overall, a pretty good race for you. You were able to stay up at the front when you got there. What did you see out there, and how did your race go from behind the wheel?
Well, starts off with the I am stupid moment with the turn 1 incident with John and Joshua. I have apologized to them. I feel really sorry for that. I didn't want to take them out. They've raced me nothing but cleanly, gave me a lot of room, and I make a big mistake and ruin both of their races. But I feel like tonight's been a night filled with mistakes. I wrecked in qualifying, so I started all the way back in 30th. I had to drive through the field, did it, got my stage 1 and stage 2 results in. Kind of fell under pressure with the pit road deal I took 4 when a lot of other people took 2, and the winning move I think was to stay out. I don't know if he pit or not, the 3 car, but it was just mistakes. I felt like I had a lot of speed under my car. I had a good teammate and good communications with Jake to keep me sane as I was going through the pack. But yeah, that pretty much sums up the night. I wish I could have done better. I feel like I had speed to do better, and it would have been an interesting finish if it just went green all the way with me and Brian having that little battle.
Yeah, you had yourself an up and down race, but we're taking a look through at some of the highlights, and that big wreck seemed to happen just on your inside, and you had the golden opportunity to move up to the outside and get through there. We did see a lot of wrecks today. What was it like kind of dealing with that and getting all of these cautions that kind of disrupted the flow for a while?
Yeah, it really kept me personally out of my groove. Yeah, I had some good restarts and was able to go to the front, but my overall pace, I feel like, didn't really kick in until we got to those green flag stops in the third stage, where after I came down pit road, I finally got into a groove and a good momentum in order to lead and maybe win a race. That the yellows just disrupt flow of the race and just keep them coming the more and more you have them. With stage points on the line and all of that, people are definitely aggressive and putting their cars where it's hard to be. I know I'm one of them. I've made mistakes already, and I can own up to them. It's just a ordeal of whether or not there's proper awareness in the car, and people just making some mistakes here and there, which disrupts the flow, makes people uncomfortable, and creates a weird little setup to the first half.
Well, we're taking a look here, coming to the white. You saw a little bit of incident just in front of you. It looked like both guys just got loose. Once again, you had the C's part in front of you. Other than those two guys, who do you want to thank for running so strong here and being able to keep it up front when you were here at Phoenix?
Well, I want to thank my team owner for Prestige Motorsports, Jake Christianberry. He's been a great help, and he brought me on here in order to go race and have some fun. I want to thank everyone for putting this race on. This has been amazing to be in here and race an icon. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of good battles, a lot of weird areas, but I want to thank them, of course, and then anyone rooting for me, if you guys are, and then you guys putting on the stream. You guys have been lovely from the past few races I've rewatched.
Well, awesome stuff, man. We appreciate that, and hopefully you'll be pleased with some of the new updated graphics we had. We know we're still got a couple things that I gotta fix, but man, you guys made a good show, and yeah, I hope you'll enjoy watching it because you guys were entertaining.
Well, that's good to know. It was a lot of fun when we did get those green flag runs in. Lots of battles all around the track, and so it was a lot of fun when we did have it.
Well, awesome stuff, man. Congratulations on the podium. We'll see you next week in Las Vegas.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
All right. Well, that's gonna about do it. Let's see if there's anybody that we can just steal for the sake of it. Looks like most everybody's jumped on out of there. But before we let you guys go here, we are going to try to break down this last lap because there were numerous incidents, and I know some of your favorite drivers started that last lap in a spot and did not get the finish that they deserved. So we want to make sure that you guys can see everything that happened there. So we're going to start. We're going to do this kind of like not the most professional because we're going to do pauses and whatnot. But we're going to start with Michael Taylor, who gets sideways on the inside of Travis Gilbert. No contact was made. He was just trying to put the power down, and I think that might be some of why these guys were spinning out. Chris Mackey behind him, also getting sideways. Oop, that's not what I wanted. Although that is a cool thing I didn't know I could do. I can just back up through different crashes. This was actually the first caution of the day with Patty and Crumb Rye. All right, we're learning things, Alan. But we'll go back up to where Chris Mackey was involved in this crash. See him getting sideways. Then the next one I believe that was involved was Zach Lockett. That was going to be a crash in turn 4. Turns 3 and 4. You see them getting 3 wide here. 33 on the outside of Jake Christenberry. Jacob Smith moving through the middle. Takes the position over the 93 of Lockett. Christenberry moves back up to the outside. Oh, man, Smith gets loose, overcorrects into Christenberry. Nowhere for Lockett to go, who almost turns over. And that's where Milfelt is going to move up and make contact with Patrick Colby. Christenberry's going to come back up, and they're wrecking already again. Nathan Brzezowski, I believe, was one of those guys going sideways. Oh, the 0-6 got turned around coming up off of 4, as well as Everett's. Roel hits him. Mackey gets run into by Shane Cochran. That's why Shane was in 22nd position. Brzezowski gets into the back of Camburn, who's already had enough spins today and doesn't need another one. Let's see what happens to Brzezowski as they come up off of turn number 2, rather. They see that crash coming up in front of them. Brzezowski hits Camburn. Camburn goes around. Brzezowski goes around. Blauen, no choice but to pile into him. It gets into Lockett. Roel going to get another impact. Caden Henry Oaks up on the outside. We'll jump back over to the checkered flag. Here's where Milfelt was going to get caught up with the 28 of Colby. Milfelt moves up and hits Colby. That gets both of those cars a little out of control. Finnegan moves down, and Milfelt just trying to recover it. Comes down, collects Eldridge, back up into Colby. They go head on. Eldred goes head on into the outside wall. Colby hits the wall pretty hard. He stays on it to try to keep position. That's going to bring him home in 14th. Insane white flag lap here, Alan.
Yeah, absolutely.
But your podium. No, that's not right. That's showing where we're at right now. Calamity down the front straightaway. Another crash down the back. Another one getting into 3. Not a ping pong situation. Colby tries to just keep it up on the outside. They might look at that wall ride, I'm not sure. Well, now we've got quiet track at Phoenix. We do apologize for that logo there. Let's give you guys our race results, and a huge, huge shout out to Shane for allowing us this graphic here. Travis Gilbert wins over Brian Smith, Jacob Malone, Kyle Diaz, Nathan Finnegan, Bentley Glazer, John Ross, Michael Taylor, Jeff Dillon, and Patrick Colby rounds out the top 10. You can see the rest of them scrolling, starting with 11th. Ray. Let's see if we can slow down that scroll so you guys can actually take a moment to read it, and potentially so can we. Phoenix Raceway was the circuit, 161 laps complete, a total distance of 162.91 miles. 8 green flag lead changes with 10 different leaders. 56 total laps, 18 cautions. It says 0, that's incorrect. Hard Charger, Travis Gilbert, also your race winner. Most laps led, going to go to Nathan Finnegan. Fastest lap, Jacob Smith. Nathan Finnegan on the pole. So Paul Crumray at 11th, Justin Bissonette, Nathan Brzezowski, Zach Lockett, Jacob Smith, Michael Milfelt Jr., John McNeil, Chris Mackey, Jake Christenberry, and Cody Eldred. Followed by Jake Roel, Caden Henry Oaks, Matt Everett, Shane Cochran, Chris Camburn, Robert Blauen, Adam Ball, Joshua Parent, Ryan Patty, and Jeff Hollingsworth. Followed by Scott Tompkins, Kevin Gunther, Hanover Fist, Leroy Koblenz, Brad Delph, C. Powell, Charles Woods, Kevin Bankert, and Jacob Gladulich showed up, I guess, for half a lap. Absolutely incredible stuff here. And once again, big shout out to Shane Cochran for allowing us these beautiful graphics. They are a game changer, and I hope you guys are as pleased as I was. Well, Alan, you got any final thoughts on the race here today?
What a race this was. This was everything that we thought it was going to be, and just a little bit more. Once again, congratulations to Shane Cochran, or not Shane Cochran, but Travis Gilbert. We want to give a shout out to Shane Cochran for all these awesome graphics that he put together. We look, it's like Christmas over here on our side of the camera, but nonetheless, next week we go to Phoenix, and Liam, I cannot wait to go to Phoenix.
We're in Phoenix.
Or not
we
Phoenix,
go to Vegas
but
next.
well, okay, we got to board a plane. We gotta get to Vegas. Who's gonna put it all on red? Who's gonna put it all on black? And who's gonna put all their money where their mouth is and try to win that one?
Well, we've got 7 days to figure it out. Got a cup race coming our way as well. But once again, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in here live on Sim Racing Media. It's been an absolute blast to cover this series, and I'm so excited about all of these graphics that have changed. We've got some really cool stuff, and hopefully we get more familiar with some of these toys, and we're able to keep delivering top of the line quality that you can't get anywhere else on Sim Racing Media. But with that being said, Travis Gilbert gets the job done. We're going to take it home here, and I love to quote Cletus and say, do it for Dale and be like Biff. I do love to quote Tony Trapasso, our old friend. So as you guys walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Have a good night, folks.